Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, this is Father Jim Northrup, and welcome to the Pastor's Corner for the week of March 1st. Well, first off, let me start by saying that I am going to take this forum in a whole new direction. When I started off a few weeks ago, I kind of came up with a list of topics that I'd hope to share with you every week. But some of those topics are kind of complicated, and they require me to interview people in the parish, and I simply don't have time to do that. Plus, I don't want this to get too heavy or intellectual or stilted. I want it to be kind of a free-flowing source of encouragement and communication for the parishioners at St. Brendan Parish. And lately I've been reading from a teleprompter. I bought a little teleprompter software, and people have kind of called that to my attention that I don't look natural and relaxed. And if you know me, I'm very spontaneous. So I'm going to change a number of things in the next few weeks, and I'll be posting that information on the website as well. But I want to talk to you a little bit today about something that happened this past weekend. You know, I was away from the parish. I hope you all missed me, but I heard everything went well in my absence. I was called upon to conduct a retreat this weekend for the permanent deacons of our archdiocese and their wives at our Palisades Retreat Center in Federal Way. And it was a real honor and privilege to meet with them because the diaconate is kind of a restored ministry that came after Vatican II. We kind of really restored that, and we're still trying to work in diaconal ministry and have good formation for the wives and the deacons in their programs and support them, because this is an important part of our church ministry that started in the Bible in the Acts of the Apostles when the Hellenists were complaining that provisions were getting first sent to the Jewish people and not to the converts from Greek-speaking origins. So they developed this ministry so that the priests could dedicate themselves to the ministry of the Word and to the altar and the table. So it's an important ministry in our church, so I felt privileged to be able to lead them all on a retreat. I discovered rather quickly that they, too, for the most part, have a warped sense of humor. So I shared a number of experiences with them, and the automated confessional on YouTube, and they thought that was pretty funny. I wouldn't show that on a regular retreat probably because some people might take it the wrong way, but it's kind of a spoof that someone put on YouTube, and I think it's funny myself, but I do have a warped sense of humor. At any rate, while we were sitting at dinner one night, I was introducing myself to one of the deacons, an older one, and he started telling me a little bit about his family, and I asked how many kids he had. And he sadly shared with me that he had a daughter who was 18, and she was going to the University of Washington, and her mother was across the street waiting to pick her up because she was a commuter student. And she entered the intersection, and it was clear for her to go, and a distracted driver plowed through the intersection and killed her right in front of her mother. Now, can you imagine that? Her daughter's 18 years old, and she witnessed this. And yet they both found their way into the diaconal ministry, and they're very kind-hearted and very faithful Catholics. But this awful tragedy happened to them. And I had shared in one of the talks about the number of parents I've met who have had to bury children and how sad that is to be a part of that experience. And yet at the same time, how inspired I am by the witness of their life, that they're not bitter and non-functional and angry at God, but they've just accepted that some things happen that we don't understand, that are often out of our control, and then they try to wade through the grief and do what they can to be healthy and productive and holy ministers within the church. I wanted to share with you a resource because I've had to do a lot of funerals, sadly, for parents who have lost children, and just a lot of funerals in general. And I'm always looking for a good resource to help people through their sacred journey of grief. And so one night when I came home from work, I stumbled across a television program on EWTN with a man by the name of Gregory Lloyd. And Gregory had lost their son, John Paul, when a car ran up on the front lawn near their house and hit his son and broke his neck. And he was, I think, 7 years old. So this is all about his journey through grief. And this book is very beautiful and very powerful with some great insights. But one particular reason it's really good is because it's written by a man. And men tend to kind of displace their grief or stuff it in. And there aren't a lot of resources written by men about their journey of grief. Of course, there's A Grief Observed by C.S. Lewis, which is rather famous, and about his wife's death and how he dealt with that. So this is kind of a play on it, A Grief Unveiled. But it's a very good book, and at the end of this video, I'll put a reference on so you can see the cover of the book, and then if you want to go on Amazon and order it or go to your favorite Catholic bookstore, that would actually be the preference, and order it. It's a great resource to have, I think. Secondly and lastly for this particular session of the Pastor's Corner, very excited to announce that this weekend at St. Brendan's, we are officially launching the My Parish application for smartphones. This is an application that we are using this year that works on Android devices and iOS or Apple iPhone devices. Unfortunately, there's not a format right now for the Windows Phone or the Fire by Kindle or whatever, the Fire Phone. So they're working on that, but it's not going to be something I think they're going to develop real soon in the near future. But if you have an Android phone, an iPad, or a tablet, or an iPhone, you can download this app for free, and it contains very relevant and helpful information. The daily readings are on there, there are notifications, our parish calendar's on there. You can look up a time for confession and schedule that in your calendar. You can email the staff. You can read the latest bulletin. You can get the latest Catholic news from the Catholic News Agency. And you can also be able to support the parish in a variety of ways and keep in touch with the events and calendars that we have within the parish. It's a great app. In fact, on Friday, I was at my Good Leaders, Good Shepherds session, and a woman who works for the Archdiocese by the name of Lee Stringfellow was telling one of the priests, I love my parish app. Every day my scriptures are there. There are notifications. I love it. And she said a number of other parishes are interested in it, but we're kind of a test parish. But she really enjoyed it and thought it was a great help to her already, and we haven't even officially launched it. But a number of people are using it just to try it out. So after all the masses, there will be people available to help you get that on your phone and to talk a little bit about what it can do for you. We're very excited to offer it. It's just one of the ways that we're working to utilize technology to better communicate with our parishioners and to enhance their faith experience. And I'm also very excited to announce too that we're working on a brand new website. We have a wonderful technology committee that's convened, and we're working on a new design and layout for a new website. So there'll be lots more exciting information in the realm of technology for you. If you don't have a smartphone, that's okay. You can play with somebody else's or something. But you'll hear more about it this weekend at all the masses, and we're very happy and very proud to be able to offer this at our St. Brendan Parish. Well, I wish you a beautiful week. The sun is shining right now, so I have to get outside and do a little exercise. But I wish you all of God's blessings this week, and check back again for some new topics and a new format for the Pastor's Corner. God bless you.